Ben vas-y.
Vas-y, montre-lui la vie.
Vas-y.
Tu vas voir comment ça marche.
Salut.
Salut.
Ça va?
Regarde.
Ouais.
En 2 secondes, il revient.
Ouais, non.
C'est vraiment pas si fort, tiens.
Ouais, il se fait calculer. Quoi.
Ouais.
Mais lui tourne le dos, mais c'est... c'est ridicule.
T'es toujours célib du coup?
Non.
Il va finir par s'en prendre une, c'est pas possible. T'imagines s'il a choc, ça serait ouf quand même. Tu vas bien? Enchanté. Ça va, ouais.
Sort of a coming-of-age story about a young man in France discovering his sexual identity, and it was good. It was very solid. The acting was excellent. The filming was very good. The directing was good. The shooting was good. Editing was good. It felt very real, and it was an intimate exploration of what it's like to come out and all the confusion that goes with it, and ultimately, finding some strength in who you are.
Forden French piece about a young man. I think the opening sequence was really great. I think, discovering your sexuality when you're a teenager is kind of a difficult thing to do. And there's no better way to emphasize that unsureness and awkwardness than a game of spin the bottle at like a high school party where you think everyone's eyes are on you even if they aren't, and just a lot of wondering what is going on, what does everyone else think, and it's a great way to establish that early on for the character and for what they're going to deal with for the rest of the piece. I think it's really beneficial to share this story, especially within that age range, because that usually is when, young people are figuring out who they are. And this piece does a great job of, characterizing that feeling throughout it. A very lovely piece. I just think overall the choice of setting, school, party, the like, it's not only realistic, but it is a place where you learn a lot of things socially and educationally, and learning about yourself is part of that. So I think it's really beneficial to show it in these realistic settings, to show just the coming of age of this young man and the coming into his sexuality as well.
It was a really great character-driven short film. I liked the story arc in terms of establishing the non-cultural norms within the group right off the bat, and also the feelings of the characters, and then kind of having it be this tipping point of one character being out, the other one not, the feelings being there, the culture not accepting them, and kind of seeing the characters going through a learning arc, both from their teachers and from other members in their community, and just kind of seeing the evolution of the main character as a person, and just the whole way that came together I really liked. I felt it made the story more original, rather than just, they can't be together because they're gay. It was more a story of affirmation and of character growth and growing as a person, and kind of finding their own space together as a couple, and choosing to be together. And I thought that was really well told.
I just thought this was such a thoughtfully crafted film that really did capture that harrowing experience of going through high school and being different, and just the environment of high school and other institutions in society as well, of the mob mentality of reinforcing gender norms, and people succeeding if they fulfill those gender norms and those sexuality norms, and being punished if they don't. I thought the crux of the film and its main mission and aim was synthesized so beautifully in the talk from the teacher, of this denaturalizing of what is the norm in terms of sexuality, and what culture has designated as natural. And you could feel from the two individuals that were struggling with the acceptance of their sexuality in the context of their high school, that those inclinations they had towards one another felt so deeply natural, that there's just that beautiful capturing of the really uncomfortable and nuanced moments alone between the two. It really captured those feelings of internalized guilt and shame and hate projected onto the other and within the sexuality spectrum. And in those moments where they were alone, especially hiding and kissing. And it just, this film really provided a context for moving past that and for different ways of looking at the world. And I think it's such an important piece. I think as kids are going through puberty and discovering themselves, this would be such an excellent option to show them as not only just an educational piece, but just a really heartfelt, open piece. Really well crafted. The acting was so grounded, so honest, and really held the gravity of the piece.
Like the acting in this one. The acting, oh my goodness. Both everybody did great. But these two main dudes carried. Like they're ready for Hollywood, yo. I really want to shout out the acting one and the cinematography and production design. So overall the directing, because all three of those, excellent. The cinematography, excellent. The camera motion, excellent. It was motivated, excellent. But also the acting, the whole cast was great, but those two main dudes stood out really well, and it really had me feeling for them. So, good job.
To be a highly stylized and beautifully executed film, from its visuals to its sound design, watching these two young men struggle with their sexuality and coming out to a group of their peers, I was struck by how relatable the idea of processing your identity while simultaneously being judged by others is. And I think that this film can serve to both support those within the queer community and educate those outside of it on how to be better allies, and how important it is for us to see more queer stories like this represented in our media consistently.
I really like this. I feel like it felt very contemporary. It feels like super of the times. I think the performances are really strong. It's shot beautifully. Like it feels like it could be an episode of Euphoria. You know what I mean? Like I really like the way that they kind of stuck to close-ups. It was very immersive in that sense. And I just really dug it. I think it was super strong. I think the sentiment to the director for combining all of strong performances with really solid editing and visuals. I think that it is very immersive and evocative. I really dug it.
It's quite a remarkable short film. It shows the difficulties of being gay still in modern times. And I think these films are interesting now because as we learn more and more and get more exposed to the LGBTQ community in larger society, these kinds of films take on a different tone. They're more self-reflective and self-aware, so to speak. That's most evident in this one, in the teacher's lecture that he gives, where it's very much that we should be aware of why these societal norms have been created in the first place, what they're rooted in, things like religion and history, etc. And then we need to move forward past them. It gives us a happy ending that we realize is not always apparent for many LGBTQ youth, but will no doubt inspire many to be more authentically truthful to who they are inside. to those they love and to those who may judge them without fear of retribution. It is a moving piece that has at its center a queer love story that should bring hope and inspire and lead to more tolerance and understanding in the world at large.